Hi everyone and welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Judy Carroll channeled some very heartfelt and inspiring messages from the ones she calls the boys upstairs. All of these messages have now been put into a book entitled The Way of the Forest, and Judy very graciously has made them available to all of us through her website. These messages are timeless, and although they were channeled over 30 years ago, the significance of them now is imminent. In the coming Just Love episodes, we are going to unpack each and every message that Judy channeled. We will explore the meaning of the message and examine how some things have already played out. We will also discuss how we can prepare for what lies ahead of us as we make our way through this shift in consciousness that is happening on our beautiful planet. We are both excited to do this and we look forward to sharing our commentary with you. So, Judy, first of all, please tell us who the boys upstairs are.
Okay, Paula, to begin, I'd just like to clarify a bit more about the relationship between these three teachers, Maris, Horus, and Serapis, who are all aspects of the same soul energy operating in oneness. I tend to refer to them as tall greys rather than Zetas, Arcturians or whatever, because they've evolved past planetary identification and physicality. They're actually more closely connected with the Daevic kingdom through the mantids, which evolved out of insectoids. Even trying to explain this in 3D language isn't easy.
So your teachers have evolved past planetary identification and physicality and are more closely connected with the Daevic kingdom and the mantids. And as you've talked about before, humans have evolved out of many different life forms throughout the universe.
Yes, and the insectoids are a physical aspect of the Devas, which in turn are caretakers of nature.
So who was the first teacher that you connected with?
Maris was the first, and I now know he's been with me since childhood. My consciousness opened up a bit more to him around the age of 15, then full awakening happened at age 30 back in 1983. This experience was what people often refer to as a walk-in. It began a week earlier when I woke one morning with a deep sense of loss and homesickness and a clear memory of being with somebody very close to me who was not human in the earth sense of the word. The oneness I felt with this being was beyond words. We were one, with no division or separation between us. It was as if we knew and understood each other at the very deepest level of our being. We stood together beside a flowing stream in a very beautiful place and held a deep and extremely important conversation. I sensed that he was a person of some importance, as every so often others would come by to consult with him, but his whole attention was on me. He was explaining something to me and asking my permission on something. Our conversation went on for a long time, but on waking the next morning I could not recall what it was about, except that it was of major importance.
So you had the knowing that it was extremely important, but you couldn't recall what it was. This happens a lot, doesn't it, when you can't really recall what it was, but you have that feeling, you just know something.
That's for sure. I've heard others saying the same thing after off-planet and higher dimensional encounters. Our limited 10% Earth human mind just can't retain the expanded knowledge and information. A week later, on a Sunday afternoon, my husband's family was visiting us. We lived on acreage at the time, with horses, dogs and cat, and they often came from town on Sundays for a barbecue lunch and to help us out with chores. During the afternoon, I started feeling a bit sick, like I was coming down with the flu. So I excused myself and went upstairs to a bedroom at the back of the house with the intention of just lying down for a while. As I shut my eyes and started to relax, I became aware that my whole body was paralysed. I couldn't move, and I was getting a headache caused by a strange, loud buzzing sound in my head. The next moment, still with my eyes shut but able to see, there were two beings standing beside the bed, so solid they were blocking the light of the sun coming in through a window on my left. They looked really weird to me because at that time I'd never heard of greys or seen any pictures of them. A third one was also present, and I was aware that it was the teacher I'd connected with the week before. At the sight of him, the fear I'd felt caused by the paralysis totally disappeared, and I became aware that these beings were family to me. I felt my heart opening up to them and a huge sense of relief and homecoming. A long conversation followed in which they joked with me that I'd been hiding myself away for too long, it was time to get back to work, and that I'd be moving back to the city. They also advised me that I needed to learn to meditate, and because I'd been a dancer by profession, the best way would be through Tai Chi, which, as they explained to me, is known as moving meditation. I was also told that I'd be learning a natural healing technique and that someday I'd be teaching these things to others, as Earth humans needed to learn more about energy. I panicked a bit as I had no idea of any of these things, and in fact had hardly even heard of Tai Chi. They assured me that years of study lay ahead. By this time, the teacher had moved behind where I was lying on the bed, and I was aware of something coming in through the top of my head. I know that missing time was involved because I woke up not all that long after, feeling quite disoriented for a while. I couldn't really recall much of what had happened or been spoken about, but the idea of moving back to town was still there.
It's all about the energy, isn't it? So what happened after that?
Not too long after, things started changing. I felt like a different person, much more spiritually oriented, and a series of strange coincidences began to occur over the next 3 years. We loved living on the property, but my husband's father passed away and his mum wasn't happy on her own. She and I got on really well, so we invited her to come and live with us. This meant moving back to town. Half remembering the message I'd been given, I was happy to do that. I was also aware of an urge to learn Tai Chi and meditation, for which I needed to move from the rather isolated acreage property. We found a perfect home in the city, complete with a granny flat for Mum, and soon after a notice advertising Tai Chi classes showed up in a shop window just around the corner from where we were living. I signed up, and from the first lesson immediately felt like I'd come home. Having been a dancer by profession, the flowing movement to music totally appealed to me.
So no such thing as coincidences.
You're not kidding, Paula, and there's more. New neighbours moved into the rental house next door, and the woman had been a meditator for many years. She and her husband had just moved up from Tasmania, along with her meditation teacher, who was planning to start up classes locally. It was in this meditation group, started up in 1987 or maybe 88, that I learned channeling and automatic writing, which was how the messages started coming through. Meanwhile, I was also doing Tai Chi and was asked by my teacher if I would like to train as an instructor. This involved carrying out studies in Chinese medicine, including acupressure, and learning about the energy chakra system of the body.
So this is all the studies in energy work that you were told that you'd be doing.
Exactly, but wait, there's more. Not long after I started teaching Tai Chi, a man by the name of Ian joined the class who'd learnt level 1 in Reiki. I'd done some spiritual healing in the meditation group but wanted to take it further, so Reiki was the perfect vehicle. Ian went on to do master level in Reiki and lived just around the corner from us, so I did my training with him through to master level, which enabled me to teach. The training I did in the meditation group started opening up my consciousness to deeper levels, and more understanding came through on the contact experience I'd had back in 1983. I was also now remembering being up on an ET ship quite regularly, working alongside the Greys as one of them. Memories were coming back to me of my pre-birth agreement to connect into the group consciousness of 2 universal cultures rather than just one, providing me with the dual or blended soul consciousness, Earth, Human and Grey. The studies that I'd been advised to undertake were now allowing me to pass on information on life force energy and to teach others through the Tai Chi and Reiki how to tap into it for themselves. This is vital information that has been lost to many Earth humans, particularly in Western cultures. It was the Greys who brought this knowledge to the East many millennia ago, and this is why Eastern cultures have more understanding on this than do most Westerners.
So it was the Greys who brought this knowledge to the East many millennia ago. How so?
Well, funnily enough, I was just reading about this a few days ago in a book entitled The Prism of Lyra, written by Alyssa Royal and Keith Priest. Many different off-planet cultures have visited Earth in the past to assist in the creation of a human culture native to the planet. And the Greys were specifically the ones who brought teachings on life force energy to the area of Earth now known as Asia. I've been aware for many years that they had a base there eons ago in northern India that was attacked by the Reptarian controllers. Of course, the controllers wouldn't have wanted Earth humans to have such knowledge, so no wonder they interfered. It was the Greys who introduced the Vedic teachings to Earth-plane humanity, along with the many healing modalities that involve tapping into the chakra system. The origins of these techniques are lost in the mists of time, but one of our other teachers, Horus, once told us that Reiki was originally brought from off-planet. On Mount Kurama in Japan, where the founder of the Reiki system, Mikao Usui, went to receive his initiation to enable him to pass the energy on to others, the monks at a temple there have sculpted an ET ship, which is said to be the vehicle which brought an entity by the name of Mao Son to Earth. His mission was the salvation and evolution of mankind and of all living things on Earth. The name of Mao Son's higher essence, Son 10, forms the kanji for the Reiki master symbol.
Wow, there's just so much out there that's been lost, and the highly abridged and limited version of history that's taught on Earth does just not go there. Even that information is not generally taught in Reiki in the West. So, if you'd like to read more about all of this, Judy's books are available on Amazon and can be accessed through the links on her website listed below. And her books are
Human by Day, Zeta by Night, followed by The Zeta Message, then Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective.
Thanks very much, Jude, and thank you everyone for listening. Until next time, sending you much love and bye for now.